Hey y'all, hey, we're your Buttons babes, and we are back at you with another episode.
I'm Alyssa Vasquez.
And I'm Alyssa Brayboy, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Y'all, sometimes our episodes may be triggering, so a little trigger warning. You might get activated with some things. Some of the things that we talk about are uncomfortable in spaces, but we agreed that we are here to grow, learn, all of the things. And so now we're going to jump into our
Push to start.
yes. So, oh man. If
If
you are
you've never joined us, our push to start is something that pushed our buttons this week, be it good, bad, ugly, indifferent, in between. Something that set us off in a way.
okay. So as y'all know, Wakanda Forever recently came out, and like, yo, oh my god, but wait, what was, that's that one?
Yes.
And then, wait, what's the other? Yes, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I love it. And so we went to go see it. It was, Alyssa and I went, and we went with our new and dear friend, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. He will be a guest soon.
Yes.
Very excited about that episode that we have planned for y'all. Anywho, getting back on the train. So we went, we dressed up, we supported Black Girl Film School. Like, if you, we're gonna drop the link below. You should go check them out. They put,
They had a step and repeat. We got like super cute gift boxes. There were
Yes.
stickers, cards, like pins. Like
they did a great job for
socks.
a private
Socks! I was so excited about the socks.
The private screening was dope, and it was like, it went to a great cause. They're a nonprofit that supports and helps Black girls in like discovering the film industry, like setting them up with opportunities to learn about things behind the camera, and
Getting Black girls in film.
that part, yes. Anyway, Black Girl Film School, check them out. Incredible. It's gonna, like, they're one of our nonprofits that we are going to be supporting, and hopefully, we will be getting involved with. And so we dressed up. It was amazing, and there was a moment. You and Brandon were downstairs, getting all of our snacks because we balled the fuck out, and
You have to.
yes. My family FaceTime called me, and they were getting ready for my Hamanese. It's grandma in Korean, y'all. If you didn't know, I'm part Korean. They were getting ready for her. They were getting ready for her 70th. Oh my god, I forgot how old my Hamani is. They were getting ready for her birthday.
Cute.
Yes, and so they had planned this huge party, and they were boiling crabs, like getting ready for the party. And that was something, like, growing up, that as a family that we would do together. We'd all go over to Hamani's house. Hamani would like boil a bushel of crabs. We'd spread newspaper out on the floor and peel them and eat them, and like we're having family conversations, just laughing and all of that. And one of my sisters, my older sister Brittany, and her husband were like, yo, we should call Alyssa. And so they called, and I see, like, there was just so much love in the air, and like I instantly like burst into tears. I'm sitting there in my fucking white jumpsuit, like done up, and they're like, oh my god, you look beautiful, what are you doing? I was like, I'm at a screening. And they're like, oh my god, what's wrong? I'm like, I just, like, you guys are making memories and I'm not there, and I'm so thrilled that you guys called me so that I could like say hi to the kids, say hi to mom, like be a part of it, even though I'm all the way in Los Angeles. And it wrecked me in a good and a bad way. Like, and there was this moment of, I'm out here living my life so far away from my family and from creating memories, but yet I'm still making my own memories, and just, it had me sit in the choices that I'm making and why I'm making them, because there's such a large part of why I'm making these choices. But it hurt. It hurt in a good way.
Yeah.
It hurt in a bad way, and I was a little bit of a mess, but like wanted to sit in that that moment for as long as possible. They're like, do you want us to go? Like, do you need to, like, do you need
And
to
you're like,
go?
no, stay the fuck here.
Right? They're like, no, you can call us later when you're done. Da, da, da. I was like, no, like, I'm wiping my tears. I'm like, no, it's fine. They're like,
I want to be here.
I'm here. My mom's like, baby, don't mess up your makeup. I'm like, it's fine. And she's like, you look so pretty. I was like, I know, but also, like, and there's like all of these people, like, we're at the movie theater, and there's all of these people around me. I don't know what's wrong with her, but I'm just like in my own. I'm in my bubble, and I'm beaming, but I'm crying, and it hit me so hard in terms of the choices that I'm making and why I'm making them, and so it just, yeah, it gave me all the feels. That's my push to start, y'all.
My push to start is also somewhat family related. A little less on the like happy side, maybe question mark. Just in general, like I came across a reel on Instagram.
Okay.
It was like 2 dogs, and I'll link it below. We'll share something. But it was like that conversation that like your at least for sure my parents had at some point. When you're like in trouble and they're like, well, I'm giving you food and clothing, like essentially, you know, like you should be thankful or that I'm peacemailing or whatever.
I brought you into this world, like take you, like
yeah, that kind of thing. And it was like, okay, well, I didn't ask to be here. Isn't that what you're supposed to do at the most basic for taking care of your innocent life child?
That you brought into this world,
right? Like, do you wanna a high five for doing the bare fucking minimum, essentially? And it was just like, I mean, it's comical and like hilarious, but it's also like, yeah, I remember like as I was getting those as that was being said to me as a kid, in my head I was like, isn't that your job? Go on. Like what? I didn't ask for this. Like, who else is gonna wipe my ass if I can't? You're like, you told me the fairy godmother wasn't real. Like, you know, like, so that, and I have been going through, I mean, similarly also, like, family memory moments that it's like, yeah, like, we all remember things a little differently, and, like, not all memories are great, but, like, it's good to make your memories with your family. And I went home and dealt with some family some things that I was just like, wow, I didn't know that like this had affected me so greatly, and like kind of was able to, I think something that like in the journey of that we are all seeing of, you know, great for us, but like everyone going to therapy, it's like, oh great, I'm going to therapy, and like I'm healing things, whatever, but like it's the doing the work. It's the like when you recognize something, and then when it's in front of you, instead of just being like, yeah, well, this is why I'm fucked up, then taking the step of like, okay, but how do I fix this? Like, how do I now that I've seen, now that I know that I'm the problem here, how do I fix, or like how do we step up? How do we step out of this pile of shit that we're in? So I am trying to. Drop any tips if you have them below. I am trying to, now that I like recognize things that are, these are issues, how to correct going forward, and how to address them in healthy ways, and how to like accept and also like take responsibility in the journey of healing. So that's kind of where I'm like, as I see these things and I'm like, yeah, fuck. Everything.
But that just hit. You're like, ha.
Yeah. So this is an open invitation. If you have gone down your own paths of like dealing and feeling and healing with family trauma, if you have those tips and like, well, for me this worked and whatever, like, would love to hear them, see them, or whatever they are.
Send her a TikTok. Alyssa responds really well to TikToks.
Yes, love the talk. If you prefer to DM, email, like, I don't know, literally, but like, yeah, that has been a thing that I'm like going through, is like, oh, now that I recognize these, like, what? Oh, it's up to me to do this now?
Yo, putting in the work, like when you like what you were just saying, like once you realize and you accept, it's like, okay, well, am I going to accept it, I'm going to stay here, or am I going to do something about it and be better and change it? Like, how bad do I want it to be
Yes.
different, or can I live with this
whatever
it is?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I'm like, thankfully I am not reproducing. So like I already know that like I'm not passing this. Like I'm not passing things down.
I love you so much.
necessarily. But I am like, I mean, I have a nephew, and so like I have a niece also. I have two humans that are very crucial to the future of my family, in the respect of all of my siblings and I, as we see them grow, how can we be the best examples of adults for them? And I had, my nephew sometimes gets the short end of the stick because he's now older, and there's a fresh littler person who gets the attention, and so I relate with him very much in that, and I do,
You're like, bruh, I see you.
I do my best that when I'm self-aware of like calling him out and making sure he feels included, or just being like, hey bro, I get it, it's hard to have little siblings sometimes, like it's okay, you can be frustrated here, please feel like you can tell me when you're kind of upset about this, like that's okay. And my sisters and I had conversations like, how can we make him still feel special as he's getting older? So
I love
like
that.
we're trying to do those things, and also like he gets yelled at because he's a boy and he's the older one, and we're like, watch your sister, that, you know, and also as a household of Hispanic women, if anyone is familiar, all us bitches are yelling at everyone. Literally, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. And I like had told him a few things, and he, as a child, continued in his path of what he was doing, and I snapped the big snap at him that I remember people big snapping at me as a kid, and it was really hurtful when someone gives you the big snap. And I did the big snap, and then after I had cooled down and collected, and I was like, okay, I was like, I'm sorry that I yelled at you this way. I need you to know that you can't talk back to me. And I need you to understand that, like, when we tell you something, there's a lot of reasons why. And I saw on TikTok, previous to doing this, a parent did that with her child, and I was like, I wish that someone had done that with me after the big snap, to not make me feel so, you know, however I felt in those moments. It's small.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small, helpless, like wrong, like shameful, like so many negative things happen, like, and you soak that up, but you don't know what to do with it, like, and you don't understand. It's like you may not understand, but you got that reaction out of me because you did something, and I'm also trying to teach you and protect you and all of these things, and you might not always understand, but please know, like, you can't behave this way, or you can't do this, or like, depending on
whatever
what it
the
is.
reason is, yes. And so I was like, okay, like, yes, my I'm sure many families are like this, but my family has a hard time apologizing after the big snap. And I was like, okay, I will not be able to do this every single time, and you need to know that, but like, I'm sorry right now that I did this. And that's like one thing that I like know that I'm like capable of, but I'm also like, there's a lot of other things. So like, yes, please, tips on things that you noticed and like how you are doing the work are widely, I'm asking for them.
You're like, look,
share them, please.
We're here to help each other. Help me help the future.
Yes,
help me help. And so, like, oddly enough, we did not plan for this. That leads beautifully into our button of the week, which is family legacy, and choices, like in terms of like the choices that you're making for your family, and like legacy and building that, and what it means to you, or to what it means. And so, like, for me, I have a hard time making decisions, and like certain decisions. I have been told that certain things, like they're and I am very well aware that there are other people's voices, and it is not my own, and I'm learning how to stand in my voice and be okay with that, because I had often been told growing up in friendships and relationships and so many things, and even from my family, that I don't make the best decisions. I don't make the best choices. And that is something that has always, like, weighed over me and
That's
makes
just
me...
like, oh, okay, yeah, Alyssa equals doesn't make the best
Right,
choices.
bad decisions. And it makes me question, second guess myself when it's like, no, you know. You know what you want. You know what you're going after. To some people, it seems crazy. You have these big dreams, you have these big ideas, but they're here in you for a reason. And so, based off of, like, sometimes I get really, too in my head about the choices that I'm making, even though, like, everything in me knows that I'm making the right choice.
But you still have to, like, have that conversation with each of the voices
Yes.
in your head to be like, yes, okay, so, like, here's my explanation, and also, like, this is the reason, and, like,
Right, and it drives me, well, it used to drive me insane, and it would actually stifle me at times, and I would get stuck.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to other people's voices of what they think that I should be doing and the choices that I should be making, and realizing, like, no, baby girl, you are making choices for yourself, for, like, what you want in terms of my legacy, in terms of not, and it's not just actually me, because it's bigger than me, it's my family's legacy, what I want to build, and the choices that I'm making are moving me forward in that. And it's so much bigger than me. Like, it has to do with, I'm in Los Angeles and building buttons and building my acting career and doing all of that because that's my passion, that's my love. Like, I did not choose this, it chose me. Sometimes I wish I could be doing anything else. Like, I have done things, like, I'm a very hard worker, and I've done things and I have excelled at them, but it has left me feeling purposeless. No, that's not
purposeless?
purposeless.
Unfulfilled.
Thank you. It has left me feel
Corporate world.
Yes.
We'll suck the life out of
Man, yo. I used to work for a government contractor who built the nuclear aircraft carriers for the Navy. I cried, like, all the time. Would go hide in the bathroom. Like, I was making dumb money, but, like,
But
and
also
everyone... But,
dumb miserable.
Yes, dumb miserable. And so, finally making choices for myself and not... It's funny because sometimes the choices that you make are for your family, even though they are not for you, and the choices that I'm still making are for my family.
You're kind of villaining it or heroing it, where, like, what you do something to either benefit one person or, like, lots of people or something. I don't, someone analogy.
Yes, and so but anyway, getting back on this train, family matters deeply to me, and so does legacy. And I think the definition of legacy is different for some. Like, I'm hardcore, like, moving towards building generational wealth, like creating a foundation, not so that my family is privileged, but they are afforded more opportunities. Oh, you still gonna work for things. I'm not going to give you everything, but I'm gonna give you the foundation to know that you have the resources to do what it is that you want. You still have to work for it, but it might be like you won't.
It's a lot more in your grasp.
Yes, so much more attainable, and it's a big part of my why. And I don't know if my family knows that. For a while,
Explicitly.
right? For a while, yes, I am at the center of my dreams, but a lot of what I am doing is to pay off, so that my family isn't in debt, so that I can retire my mom and dad, so my sisters know, like, are you unhappy? Like, how can we figure out you doing something that fulfills you?
So if they want to if they want to sell vagina candles,
Yo.
they can.
Right? Like, yo, let me help
Those
you.
kinds of things, like,
Right?
what is it? Like, they want to buy a $2 billion house and they make pet rocks and sell dog sock, like, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so, and I don't think they know that. I don't think I've explicitly told them, like you said, but it's a huge part of my why, and like, affects the choices that I make. But sometimes I feel that they see it as, oh, Alyssa's out there living her life in Los Angeles, living her best, like, and
She's
like,
doing her thing.
yeah, it's like choices, and I'm going home for the holidays for Christmas, and so, but like going home for me is rare. There are choices that I make and not boundaries that I have. Well, yes, boundaries that I have. There are things that I have decided that like, oh, I can't go do this. I can't hang out with that person. I shouldn't be around this because I'm focused. I have a goal. I'm moving towards something. And if I'm constantly running home, or if if I'm not focused on what I'm doing, then I'm not going to get to my goals and the standards that I have set for myself. But like to other people on the outside, it's like it. Yes.
You're being selfish, or
right.
like you are trying to figure out where you can. I mean, I'm throwing out things that I've also
those
heard.
Those are the things that I have heard, but also learning. The hardest thing for me is finding that balance of because I want to go home and make these memories. They are important. There are only so many more memories that we are going to have with certain loved ones. Like our grandparents, the older generation, like my mom, and like I'm like, no, I don't want to say that. My mom's gonna live forever.
Right?
She's living forever. My mom and dad aren't going anywhere. And like
even the new people, like being some of their earliest memories.
Like
that, like it's so like book ending just in general, like
I need them to know who Auntie Alyssa is.
Yeah.
And props to my sisters, they have gotten better about, FaceTime calling, and like, cause we've had plenty of conversations like, please include me. I know I've also gotten better about calling during things and pass the phone around, say hi to everyone. But I always, when are you coming home? When are you coming home? I'm like, well, like, do you know what it takes for me to come home? Do you have any idea? And so,
time off is not.
No, and so I have made the choice to be in Los Angeles, but sometimes the choice to be here, even though it's the choice that I've made, it sucks. It hurts. It tears me the fuck apart. And it's like, well, there's a bigger picture. There is a legacy that I am moving towards that matters to me, and they might not fully understand, but I do. And it's like, just wait, just trust me, believe in me. Like, I promise it might not seem like we close, but we getting there, and
there's more here.
Yes, and it's like, and segue separate from family and legacy, but same but different. Even like the choices and the people that I allow in my life, and those, like, even some of the bad decisions that I have made have led me to like who I am right now, and have been huge learning lessons in terms of what it is that I deserve, and has led me to make better choices.
Because you learn from mistakes.
That part. And it's so interesting, and I'm tiptoeing around this because it's a little bit uncomfortable. Like, even down, and I don't even know how to fucking answer the question that someone asked me the other day. And so yes, we're gonna do this here. So even like the choices of relationships that I have been in, oh my god. So someone asked me like what my type was at one point, and I'm looking back at the track record of the relationships that I have been in, and it varies. But I'm realizing I dated a lot of white men in my life, but yet in the back of my head had always seen myself marrying someone of color, but yet have consistently, I think I've dated one or two.
There's been two. I feel like there's been two.
Yeah, two. There's been two men of color. You're reaching. I've dated two men of color in my life.
Been in a relationship with, because you have gone on dates.
Yes.
With,
yes.
Let's be. I'm gonna come in here with the asterisk.
Yes. But, and it's wild. This is a tangent. This came through conversation and therapy, because also, Nope, actually, we're not going there.
Okay.
In terms of, it was trauma related in terms of also like being in those relationship with those men and constantly wanting them to see me, and also like trying to reframe them in my mind, because the first time that I was assaulted was an older white man, and I gravitate towards older white men.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
I hate it here.
what? I'm running back to my abuser? Great.
What in the fuck is this?
I was flabbergasted and still working towards that, like, and wanting so bad.
Can I just say that's huge. I'm like like thank you for sharing that here. This is obviously a really safe space, but I just want to say, like, this is huge. I am so proud of you. I love you so much. This is really uncomfortable.
Right? Like,
this is really uncomfortable right here. But I'm so proud of you. Holy shit, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm sweating in places right now.
It hurt.
Ooh.
It hurt me for me. I was like, what? And like trying to make them better than they actually are, trying to reframe it in my brain, or maybe even trying to run back to that trauma because it's familiar, because I understand it, because I know. And then also in some capacity, this movie was beautiful and it fucked me up in spaces. I watched Belle. You can watch it on HBO. It's a story of a mulatto woman who grew up with a white family that had a large part to do with ending the slave trade. And like she said something in terms of like women being property, and even like as like, and always trying to find a master. And I was like,
fuck.
Everything in me broke for a second, and I know that not all of them like are the same, and like, and I like, and love is love. I completely, like, wholeheartedly
Love is love. Yes, blah blah blah.
believe that. But like, there's something in me that has like, yes, I'm going to marry for love, but I have seen and known that I want to be with someone of color who like, and that is of the same station of me, and I want black children, or I want children of color. And a friend of mine that was like, why does that matter to you? I was like, I don't even know how to have this conversation with you on why that matters to me. And there was a reel that I saw from, damn it, what's Mandy's other podcast? The Thing Is, or
I think it's So the Thing Is, or something, yes. Or Period Sis, one of the two.
Yes.
See the Thing Is. I think it's See the Thing Is. Yes.
And they were discussing interracial dating, and you know that all of them, I think all three of them, or maybe just two of them, are mixed, and like how that is seen as diluted blackness. And I was like, fuck. And how, I mean, I love every piece of me, and being mixed. Growing up, it was hard for me because I felt as if I wasn't black enough. I'm not white enough. I'm not Korean enough. I'm not like, I am other. I am
everything
so,
but what you should be.
Right. I'm other on a different level. And I get it. There is a privilege that does come with being light skinned. There's a privilege that comes with being like pretty. Like I get it. But there is something about culture that I love and that I think is really important. And I don't want my kids to miss out on that, and to be even more so like
othered, and have that feeling of like, what's going on.
Right, or to know that they do have, you know, that in them.
There's history in your family.
But it doesn't look like it. And I know, like, yeah, grand scheme of things, I want them to be healthy. I want them to be happy. I want to be happy but I also know that,
more.
yes, and Black love matters to me. Like, it matters.
Because it fucking matters!
Yes! And
Just in general!
And I want to be able to provide and, like, be an example for healthy Black love, healthy Black children, and further, amplify those voices. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's fine. I'm not saying, like, I have to have this.
But, like, also.
Yeah. But also, because it's hard to me. Like, there's an individual who has entered my life who is not, but Lord have mercy. I'm like, I have never been treated this way. In terms of, like, that whole cliche, but cliches are cliches for a reason. Like, you accept the love that you think that you deserve. And there's a level of respect that they treat me with, like, regardless of how, like, we ended up where we are, that blows my mind, but then also brings me to, like, wow, I accepted and made choices of the people that I let in my life based off what I thought that I deserved, and, like, made choices based off of, like, not thinking that I deserved, not feeling like I deserved more. I knew better. Like, I knew, but what they were telling me, and anyway.
I want to segue really quick. So hold that thought. I will bring us back to a few episodes ago. We had a conversation about standards, and I think that, like, something that I know about me, like, yes, you may know that, like, I deserve better than this, but if you don't actually know that in your head, I will, again, out of me, I'm like, well, in my head, I am 99.99999% sure it should be like this. But the thing that I'm being presented with, or what is familiar, what has been shown to me, is this. So, like, am I fucking cuckoo? Am I asking for too much? I have not seen right here. I don't have experience with here. I have no familiarity here. It's just something that I
know and I feel
like,
here.
I'm like, that I want maybe, but, like, okay, I guess this is where we are. Like, this is it, question mark, maybe, until the here comes along, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, yes.
That's wild that you say that, Mama, because, like, so many thoughts and feelings running through, and in terms of standards too, but also, like, because of the standards that you have, like, those are the choices that you were going to make, right? And so this individual that I'm talking about, the way that they have entered my life, they have also set a new standard and bar for me. And it's what, like, all of the things, I'm like, they check, except for one. And I'm like, no!
You will find, okay,
yes, but, like, and it's weird, because what came out of my mouth, like, the thing that we were looking for in terms of, like, okay, we gotta find something, because, like, we have to find that thing so that you don't hardcore fall head over heels, because, and I'm just gonna say it, it's uncomfortable, whatever, because I was like, if this motherfucker was Black, I'd be fucked. I would marry you tomorrow. Let's go. I know I've only, like, I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm ready. Let's go. Everything. Anywho. I shouldn't say everything. I get excited about things and people really fast. But it was, like, we were having that conversation. I was like, damn. And as that escaped my mouth, I was like, what is wrong? Nothing's wrong with me.
No.
Like, there's nothing wrong with saying, like, I want to marry someone of color. I want you to start a family with someone of color. There are certain things that just is a different level of understanding and relate, like, that you relate on, that you can, like, talk about, and that I don't have to explain, like, I don't have to break down for you. I don't have to educate you on this. Not saying that I'm not willing to educate, but like, sometimes,
also, there are things that, like, you shouldn't necessarily have to explain to your partner. I believe, with certain experiences. I am not a black person. I am a very white passing Hispanic person. So like, I mean, there are things that I get of like dating someone or being with someone who understands certain things of your culture or lack of understanding of culture. I mean, we share many frustrations of like not fully knowing and like having the background in things that are important to our cultural background because of how we were raised. And I think that's like when you are the person in the relationship that has a background of culture like that, and you're not as familiar being in a relationship with someone who is as equally connected to their culture, but it is very different than yours, you kind of like get absorbed into that, which is great. Which is it's great to learn about someone else's culture and be part of that. It's wonderful, but there's also a feeling, and I will be speaking for myself. There's also a feeling of like I wish that I was disconnected to my own. And yes, I am learning about my own, and great, you do the work to understand yours. But being in a relationship with someone who shares or has so much more connectiveness, like there's just it sets you up, I think, foundationally for your future, for your children. But there's also like kind of a comfort. I'm assuming, I'm projecting or guessing or whatever, but like I would imagine that like it feels like a safety net that you're kind of embraced into of like, okay, maybe I don't know a lot of these things, but together, because you do perhaps know, and maybe you'll end up with someone who has very similar, I mean, I don't know, but like I just imagine that it would be like, okay, there's safety and like
there's a different level of care there too. Like example, we were watching oh my, I can do this. They're really into Vikings and like that, like all of that Vikings show. Like Vikings Valhalla, The Last Kingdom, all of that colonial, like colonizing and like raiding and rap, like, and I'm not like, good show, not knocking it. I also really liked Vikings, but that's their motherfucking jam.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm with it, but we have seen this time and time and time and over and over and over again. And so I brought Lovecraft Country onto the table. That's my jam. That is, not only is it a period piece, it's genre bending. It touches on the Korean War. I'm part Korean. Like so many things of who and what matters to me. And he was like, yo, how did I not know about this show? How do you know about this show? Oh my God, there's only one season? What the fuck? Like, I'm like, my guy. And I had to explain to him, like, why it matters to me. Like, why it hurts that there's only one season of that show. Like, and, like, why, like, diverse voices are so important. You watch this on the regular, and in that moment, I was like, that's why.
This conversation.
It hurt. Like, he was so into the show, so receptive, asking so many questions, and it was lovely. It was sweet, but there was this level of, like, oh, man, there's so much that you don't know. I'm not saying that you don't want to know or not open to learning, but, like, there's something in there that was like, I don't know if I have that in me, like, to try and to do that, go there, explain these things, or have you care about it the way that I care about it, because it's in me. It's a part of me. It's who I am, and this kind of content matters so much. I get that it's just a show on television, but to me and to so many people out in the world, it's so much more than that. It's seeing yourself reflected and knowing that you matter. When we have seen everything but that over and over and over again, I'm like, that's why I want Black babies. That's why I want Black children. That's why I want to, like, and it just hit me in a way. But do I also want love and to be loved the way that I deserve to be loved? Yes. And I'm like, damn. Okay. And so
even down to the choices that I make of who I decide to date and to be in relationships with now, they matter, and it impacts my family, it impacts my legacy. And it's just like, those are hard, uncomfortable decisions, uncomfortable choices, uncomfortable things to talk about, to say out of my mouth, like to people like that. I'm like, this is important, it matters, it makes a difference. Am I going to be with someone just because they're black? No. Like, am I going to be with someone who doesn't like, or like be with someone who doesn't treat me well just so that? Absolutely not.
Right.
But, and will I count it against someone for not being of color? No. I can't. Alyssa's like, I might for you.
I mean,
you won't, but I will, because we have an agenda. We have a plan for you, Alyssa, Aaron, Brayboy. Anyway, but it just, I was like, damn. But there are like so many other things. Like, I'm not a box checker, but I mean, sometimes you like, I'm like, it checks the fucking box. And
listen, you gotta. I have, as of much more recently, really started leaning into fucking manifesting. With situations with our friends recently that I've been like, well, what do you want? Say it! And then they get it, and I'm like, do you see what happened? I
say it out of your mouth.
Yes, the power of, we have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Somehow in this fucking world, even though we don't, we have a lot of power. Like, I mean, I don't know. I definitely, in my mind, I guess, of your life, you're ending up with a black man and have beautiful black children. Like, I don't know. And that's where I'm like, am I, like, I know that I'm racist in my own ways, but, like, am I that racist?
No,
like, that only, like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, you know, but I definitely.
You're prejudiced.
Yes, I'm prejudiced. That is a prejudice for I guess, I don't know. I'm just like, well, obviously you're gonna end up with a black guy, and he's gonna love you, and your kids
And
are
he's gonna treat you like a goddess.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
all
I
of
don't
the
know,
things.
like, as your friend, like, duh, like, I don't know, and that's, again, like.
It was funny. We were at your birthday dinner, and like, your boyfriend, not my boyfriend, pointed out the obvious. He was like, both of you. The obvious is that he's a fucking cis. What did he say?
Remember.
He said, you like, the thing that's wrong with him, and now that is wrong with, anyway, the thing that is wrong with him is that he is a white cis male. He's basic. I was like, ouch. But yet, it's treated me like I have never been treated so well.
And that's where now we're here.
Yeah,
and we
it's
just
gotta, I was just, wow, on so many levels. And it just, but even in that, a message that I had received from him once was like, yo, like, and I thoroughly enjoy where it is right now. And I'm also like learning to be okay with being present and not having to like automatically fast forward to like, well, it's not in line with what I want for the future. Well, bitch, this is what you need right now. This is what you need right now. You need this individual as an example in your life to show you, to teach you, like, this is
cleanse.
Right. That you, ma'am.
This is the palate cleanse.
Yes, that you deserve this. You deserve this level, and this is just the bar. This is just the foundation.
This is showing up.
Yeah.
This is just showing up.
That part. Some
With
of
the
it is
wiener.
just, some of it's just basic common decency, and I'm realizing, oh,
It's really annoying when you come across something that you're like, oh, this is what it's
and this is the base ground level, bitch. I look back at everything else and I was like, damn, Alyssa, Aaron, I am judging you. I am.
You know,
just I can judge myself just a little bit.
You can judge yourself a little bit, and I feel like I'm making this up, or I've heard this, or like, again, maybe I'm making it up, but like, you cannot say that your type is only a reflection of what has been.
Oh.
Because you don't know things until you know things.
That part. Yo, like, some of this, it does also come with experience. I'm learning, and this is why, in general, I lean older. I'm like, yo. But it is wild to me that some of it, like, I can't remember who I was talking to. They were like, Alyssa, I love you. this is basic level shit. Like, this is basic boyfriend / partner / this is what you do for people that you care about. This is how you talk to them. This is how you treat them. This is how you communicate. Like, this is not rocket science. I was like, oh, well,
Listen, we
it's-
are all out here learning things that are rocket science to us that are not rocket science to everyone else.
that part. And so, all of that to say that the choices that we make to lead up to where we're going, what we want for our family, for our legacy, like, to me, like, I know I'm at the center of it in terms of, like, my world, my universe. Yes, it does revolve around me because it's mine. Like, it's mine. It's the world. It does. It revolves around me. God damn it. And if you want into this orbit, like,
You gotta get in line
yeah,
and circle accordingly.
yes, but also because at that point though, but it's also orbiting around you because you were in it with me. And so, these are the choices and the decisions and the things that I'm doing and that I am making to build the things. And I had a point and I lost it. But yep,
That's
That-
okay.
I
I think when you first shared this topic, I was a little like, I'm not really grasping, like, because I'm orbiting in a different space, universe, fucking thing.
your own,
Then
your own
you.
world.
And so, like, I am not reproducing. You're welcome. So my I guess legacy is not being left for my cats, even though
We just lost
I mean-
our wide, ladies and gentlemen. And that's okay. We'll come back and
okay.
forth.
So yeah, no direct legacy for me. I'm leaving everything to my sisters and the children that we have in the family. I don't know why I keep staring at that one.
And with that, like, okay, I'm sorry, moment, continue, because we will wrap this up shortly. I looked over, I was like, oh, that red light is off.
But yeah, I think this is a great part one to a conversation that we'll extend another time, and it's, I think, really great for people our age to start to think about. I think that's like, instead of just cycling in of like, you get married, you have a kid, blah 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 blah. Well, okay, you're stopping. You're taking a minute to really think about, like, okay, but like why, but like how, but like for what, but like you're doing a lot of work to improve so that someday when you big snap, you can say I'm sorry, and they get it, and it's gonna be
Yes.
okay,
Legacy,
and they know
family.
how to be healthy and love and be loved and know what love is and want love and treat other people, and that's what we need in the fucking planet.
Yeah.
While we're here and whatever comes next, I don't know.
While we're racing to get off of this rock, that's what's happening. Anyway, y'all, so, we're not
So-
pushing replay because we're not. We're
this
just,
this was a real hot button that will continue to be pressed a little bit more.
Mhm.
If you like some more juicy details, subscribe to Patreon.
we're for sure gonna get into it some more, like, and I'm gonna give you the whole story.
We'll also
on
show
page-
one of the gift boxes so you can see.
Oh, from
Down the screen.
Yes, from Black Girl Film School, and I'm gonna give you like the honest, like, full story of this individual and all of those things, and we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there.
Okay, we're gonna go
Because
there.
I mean, we've talked about it before in a previous episode, and so it's not news to anybody. And so.
I'm gonna go there.
But you have to be a Patreon to see this particular episode where you'll get the full story, and
Sure, a drink rack. I'll share some drink racks or some smoke racks
Yo.
if you want to tune in.
that one's
This
gonna
is
be
it's gonna be interesting.
it's gonna be lit. And so we'll keep you posted on that so that you can sign up to be a Patreon ahead of time. And so, but you'll get it once you become a Patreon. Anyway, we gotta go now because our camera has gone. And
Please
so
like, follow, subscribe, download, rate, review, share, all of the above. It's been a button pushing day.
yes, it is. All right, y'all. That's all we've got for you this week, and we will see you next time. Bye.